Hey everyone, Dukin is here with the fourth installment of Trials, Tips, and Tutorials. Today we're going to talk about the importance of knowing your opponent. I'm going to give you a method of how you can learn about the other team, and then how you can best utilize this information before and during a game to increase your chance of stealing rounds. So let's kick it off. When I'm flying into the map before every game, I find my opponents on DestinyTrialsReport.com. I will link that in the description. For anyone unfamiliar with that website, it basically gives you everything you need to know about the other team. Their KDR, their win percentage, ELO rating, subclass, weapons, exotic armor, intellect, discipline, and strength breakdown, and many other things. Knowing your opponent's level of skill, their subclass, and their exotic perks and weapons absolutely increases your chances of winning, and I'm going to show you how today. So we know everything about our opponents, but how can we use that information? The first thing I look at is my opponent's skill level, which helps me before the game starts. I'll choose my weapons based on my opponent's skill. What's his KDR? What's his ELO rating? Are they better than mine? My KDR is a 1.6 and my ELO is 2100. So if I'm playing a team of snipers below 1.2 with 1500 ELO, you better believe I'm going to be equipping my sniper and challenging those lanes. But that changes if I'm playing a top 200 player who is sniping. He's going to blow my head off. So I changed my approach to Midas shotgun, and I'm going to avoid those sniper lanes. It's not because I'm afraid or because my confidence is low. That's me managing my confidence. You have to be realistic when you're evaluating your opponent. So it's a tactical decision that increases my chances of winning the game. If I'm playing 3 shotguns, I'll throw on the last word or the doctrine, which are good shotgun counters. And you're going to face many different types of combinations. It's never just going to be 3 shotguns or 3 snipers. You have to learn how you play against different types of combinations. And that starts by looking the other team up. Once you do this 5, 6, maybe even 20 times, you're going to start noticing a pattern on what weapons work best for you against the different kinds of combinations. And that begins by looking teams up. After skill, I look at my enemy's subclasses, which in my opinion is the most critical piece of information you can have during a game. A well-used super can steal rounds, and a good team knows how to steal a round with just one super. So if you prepare for what they have, you can decrease their chances of winning the round, which is going to increase your chances of winning the game. If you're playing 2 to 3 Voidwalkers, Strikers, or Night Stalkers, you're going to want to stay spread out if you're expecting that super, because then they're only going to get one of you at a time. If you're expecting a Stormcaller or a Blade Dancer, group up and get a team kill. If you're about to play a Golden Gun or a Hammer, play conservative. You can outrun that because they don't get a speed buff, and the super doesn't really last that long anyway. I give Sunsinger special treatment just because a good Sunsinger can turn around from a loss to a win with the click of just 2 buttons. So when I'm playing a Sunsinger, if there's even a remote chance they have their super, I encourage my team to specifically call out where they killed that player. We'll designate a sniper to watch the orb from distance, or we'll stick a shotgun on them. You can effectively deal with every super, and if you know it's coming, you can counter it, or you can at least mitigate the effects. If you force an enemy to waste their super, it drastically increases your chances of winning the round. I just want to touch on a couple more minor points before we go today. Knowing your opponent's exotic perks and weapons are important for your round-to-round battles if you know what to expect. If that Titan's rocking Armamentarium, you're going to want to stay out in the open, away from walls they can stick grenades to. If the Blade Dancer is running Tarantella, group up and expect to have to team kill a super at any given moment. If the other team is running 2 fast revives, complemented by 1 other exotic perk, they're probably well coordinated because they know that 2 fast revives means the whole team has fast revive. Another thing you can check is whether or not your opponent's snipers can kill off revive. If they can't, you can bait your buddy's res and know that he won't die even if he gets shot in the head. There is more information on DTR that I'm not going to cover today just for time's sake, but I would encourage you guys to check out the website because you might be able to find different types of information that's going to change your game plan and approach depending on the team that you're playing. So let's recap what we learned today. DestinyTrialsReport.com unarguably increases your chances of beating the other team when used in the following ways. Number 1, knowing your opponent's skill level helps you create a custom game plan and approach before you enter the map. Number 2, knowing your opponent's supers helps you adjust your approach during the game. And number 3, knowing your opponent's exotic perks and weapons will better prepare you in your round-to-round gunfights during the game. It's tough to manage all this information at once. It takes a little bit of practice, but just like controlling your grenades, it will come second nature to you with repetition. And once you've mastered the intel side of Trials of Osiris, you will have a higher chance of success. Just before I end the video, I really want to encourage you guys to have at least one fire team member keep a laptop or computer open while you play Trials, so they can feed you this information on the fly. I guarantee using this website is going to increase your chances of winning close games in the ways I discussed earlier, and in other ways as well that you might be able to come up with on your own. So good luck, guys, and make sure you are well prepared before entering a game. And lastly, I forbid you to use this information against me if you ever come up against me in Trials. I'm kidding. Duking us out.